Hello guys, it's Shrimp Time here, and today I think that we got another very interesting topic for a video. We'll talk about the best first shrimp food to buy when you are buying your first shrimps or when you are starting a new tank with different shrimps. So, as you all know, there are very different brands on the market, a lot of different types of food in the market. Some of the foods are the complete food for each and everyday use. Some of the foods are specialized food for molting, for breeding, for coloration, for white color, for shell thickness, for to avoid bacterial infections. We got so many types of food that someone who's just starting the shrimp breeding don't have a clue which food should he or she buy. And in today's video we will answer the question, what is the best shrimp food for a new tank? So as you all know, I prefer the cycling tank way that will provide a lot of biofilm and a lot of algae in your tanks. If you watched my previous video, you will know that my tanks are full of this spongy, hairy green algae, and that I use Lubao for cycling the tank and for providing the bacteria in the tank. And when you are considering the first food, you will get different advices, both online, in internet, in YouTube, on forums, on Facebooks. There will be also a lot of sellers or shops that will advise that you should even buy different types of food. For example, 3 types of food: one for molting, one for baby shrimps, and one for each day use. The different brands will make this all very hard to decide. But I've got a big answer to you all. And I think that this is a very different answer that you will hear each day. In my opinion, you should buy no food for the first shrimp tank. Yes, you heard it correctly. I think that you shouldn't feed your shrimps at the start. You shouldn't feed your first pack when you buy the shrimps. And this is because you already got the best shrimp food in your tank. And you got a lot of that food, and you didn't even have to pay a penny for that food. It came extra for you if you did everything good during the cycling process. So what food I'm talking about? I'm talking about the biofilm in your tank and the algae that you grew during the cycling process. And this is the best 2 different types of food source for the shrimps. The algae will be rich in minerals for the shrimps, and on the other hand, the biofilm from bacteria, from fungus, from yeast will have a lot of proteins for the shrimps, and you don't have to feed shrimps with anything more. If you have a new tank with good cycling process, you will notice that very often when you put even a small amount of food, you will get low or no reaction for the shrimps. They won't eat all of that food, and that food left in the tank will produce waste, will be a burden for a new tank. Because even though we cycle the tank for a month or maybe a little bit more, the tank still isn't at its 100%. This is why when you will put 100 shrimps to this type of tank, some of the shrimps will die, because the tank will feel the shock. And you can give a shock to this tank in very similar way if you buy food, because you will try different types of food. I know that because a lot of my viewers, a lot of my customers ask me, I bought this food. I even bought 5 types of food, and shrimps don't want to eat it in a new tank. So my question will be, how long do you have shrimps? The usual answer will be for about 2 weeks, okay, or for about a month. And I see that shrimps aren't reacting. I will ask, how much of the shrimps have you bought? So the usual answer, 10, 20 pieces. And my answer for the question, what food should that person buy, especially if he bought very small shrimps, for example 1 centimeters, 0.8 centimeters long shrimp. This is a very young shrimp. This shrimp will be from 2 months age to maybe 3 months age. This is a very young shrimp. And when somebody have only 10 shrimps of this size, in my opinion, the feeding is unnecessary, or it even can make a harm for the tank. Not for the shrimp straight ahead, because the shrimp food will be left in the tank, it will decompose, and it will produce NO3. And our NO3 cycle, even though it's closed, it might be not strong enough. It might be not familiar with so high nitrogen production in the tank that the shrimps might die. On the other hand, in the very nicely cycled tank, the shrimps will get a lot of easy to digest algae, and they will also get a lot of biofilm they need. They will get minerals, proteins, sugars, they will get everything they will need. And due to the fact that there is not a big amount of the shrimps in the tank, because for example in my 30 liters tank or 10 gallons tank, I can keep even 100 or few hundreds of shrimps depending on the age of those shrimps. So if you put 10 shrimps in this tank, the biofilm will be able to rebuild all the time that the shrimps will eat. The algae can grow easily, and the shrimps won't be able to eat all of that biofilm, eat all of that algae. In my opinion, the very first moment that you can consider feeding your new shrimps in the tank is the moment that the females will get buried, or even after you will get some young shrimps in that tank that will grow a bit. This is due to the fact that when the shrimp herd or the shrimp pack will get older and you will get more and more the shrimps, the biofilm won't have enough time to grow in the tank, and you will start to see the lack of food in the tank. And due to that lack of the food, you will need to give additional food to your shrimps. And when you will give that additional food for your shrimps, you will see that shrimps will react on the food. But when there is a very little of the shrimps will prefer the natural biofilm, the natural algae that are already in your tank. So when you are buying your first shrimps or starting a new pack, when they don't want to eat and there is not a big amount of shrimps in your tank and they are young, don't be worried. It's natural. We can compare this to you trying to eat a very good meal or to eat some type of not so good food. You will prefer the fresh, good ingredient meal that is tasty, that is rich in all the things that your body needs. And this is why, guys, I think it is important to stop the feeding or don't start the feeding at the first months of your tank. In my opinion, you can make more damage than you can get out of this. So next time when you are worried about shrimp not eating a food in your new tank, just watch your shrimps and look if they are walking through the tank and trying to eat something from the moss, from the glass, or from the soil. I hope that this video helps you. If it did, leave a thumb up, and remember, keep on shrimping, guys. See you!